Yeah.
I got it. I was just making sure it wasn't your sound, it was mine.
Oh, okay. What's up
I
there?
can't hear like the stream. I'm just not sure if it's on my end or your end. Let me get your phone so I can check real quick.
Oh, you know what? I actually have my button muted.
Okay, at first I thought it was my sound, but then I realized when I logged out and logged back in,
I gotta stop doing it. It's the blindness, folks. Sorry about that. I clicked the button, but I see where I actually have myself on mute. So, I don't know where that started, but I guess I'll go back to the beginning. Look, the funny thing is,
It started at the very beginning, I think, because after the music played, I couldn't hear.
Okay,
But I wasn't on there just then. But I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, cool. Thanks. The funny thing is, I was saying that if something happened in the beginning of the stream to throw things off, that's something that I'm going to have to leave in the past, which I'm forced to do now. Sorry about that, guys. Unfortunately, I had it on mute, but let's move forward. So I was talking about Eckhart Tolle and the fact that he is the author of the book, The Power of Now. And this book is something that Jen and I have on in the background when we're sleeping at night. Now, me, I personally have other things in my personal headset that I'm listening to, that I'm into right now. I'm trying to retrain my body to fast for 20 hours of the day. I've started a lifestyle for myself called Fast and Raw. So I'm eating raw vegan at night and I'm fasting during the day. And I'm trying to see if this helps my vision clear up. So Fast and Raw, baby. I'm going to put all my stock in it. I'll keep you posted. But Eckhart Tolle, we usually, we like the light of the TV, the ambiance it kind of puts in the bedroom at night. So, the TV's always going. But what we're not going to be listening to is reality TV drama or news or weather or anything like that. We put this book on. And since Jen isn't really into the headset thing, she likes something on TV at night. So we put this on. I turned her on to this. We listened to this before, and this book is amazing. It is on YouTube with Eckhart actually reading it. And look it up. There's a few different versions of it, but if you can find the one that you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll leave a link to it. I'll leave a link to the actual stream where he's reading the book because he's got a very soothing voice in the description of this video, along with Dauchsy Meditations, which is what I usually listen to at night. But Eckhart teaches that time is an illusion. And when you think about it, it is absolutely correct. We made time as a measure to get things done and to plan things. Just some structure for us to have. But, if you ask a bird, what time is it? Well, the bird's going to say time is now. What do you mean what time is it? There's time. What's that? That's something we made up. So in essence, it's an illusion because the only thing you really have is now. When you focus on the past, like when you focus on the past, what you're doing is you're living in reverse, and that's not even possible. So one of the best things that you can do for yourself is let go of the past. Now, I don't say that you can't learn from history, because you can. You can learn from your mistakes. You can also learn from good stuff that you did. But you do have to let go of the past because it's not here. Like what just happened with the I could go on and on and on ranting about, wow, damn, I had the mute button on. I got to do this crap all over again. No, why would I put myself in that place? It's already in the past. We're moving forward. You have no choice but to move forward because life's going to happen no matter whether you're ready for it or not. But the past can prepare you. So yeah, learn from history. But the things that you've learned are able to be used when? You can't use it in the past. You use it now. You see what I'm saying? So the only thing you can do is count. The only thing you can truly count on is the now. You can learn from history, but you're using what you've learned now. And, you can say, I want to do this. I want to become this. I want to own this. I want to go here. But the things that you do now create that possibility. It's not here yet. It's not promised to you, which is another reason to cherish this moment because you don't know if you're going to get another one. And that's not morbid, that's just real. So start the process of assassination of procrastination, I like to call it. Get rid of it. Yes, I'm trying to be a motivational speaker. Yes, I am. And I'm starting right here on YouTube. Assassination of procrastination. What is the purpose of procrastination? Because it serves no purpose, but just to keep you still and stagnated in the same spot. And how can you move forward like that positively? Because life is going to move forward regardless of whether you're ready to move forward or not. You say you want to get healthy. Well, in the now, what are you doing to take steps to do that? Are you listening to audiobooks on how to work out, how to maybe go vegan? What things could be causing the issues that you're having? Are you taking steps to change your eating habits? Are you getting up in the morning and scheduling some type of workout? Are you physically moving? If you're incapable of physically moving, what are you doing to change your, one of the reasons I love my IG bestie and someone who's really become really cool with me on these streams is Ronnie Conover, Ro, And I love Ro because what she's done, she's physically enabled of doing strenuous workouts because she's got physical issues with her back and things like that. And so what she's done is she's taken a step. She's done something that she's done something she can control right now, because she can't really control that until she, I guess, maybe loses some weight and maybe can get to a point where she can do things like physical workouts. But she's controlling what she can control, which is her eating. She is eating. She has gone, for all intents and purposes, right? I don't know if you've gone vegan. Okay. She has kind of forced herself into a vegan diet, which eventually with consistency will result in her losing weight. I also have to lose weight. That's another reason I'm doing fast and raw. Especially when you get older, it's harder to drop weight. It tends to sit there. And regardless of what you do. So this is also an aggressive step for me to drop weight myself. Who knows? That could be one of the issues. I have a heart murmur. I'm 5'3". I'm like 191 pounds. That's too much weight, even though I carry it like I'm about 145 pounds. People look at me, there's no way, because there's a lot of muscle there. And so I'm built very even. And you can't tell by looking at me that I'm close to 200 pounds. You would think I'm maybe 150. But that's neither here nor there. The fact is I am at 191. And if I want to get down into the 130s, I've got to take some aggressive steps, and me losing weight could have a good effect on my vision. Could it have an adverse effect? Sure. Am I willing to take a positive risk? Yes. And I'm willing to do that now, because we don't get younger. We can biologically change ourselves and rebuild our bodies and our cellular structure. And we do that when? Now. Biologically. Chronologically, I'm 54 years old. Biologically, I'm probably more like 34. Okay. And I mean, that's a real thing. I work out 5 days a week like somebody who's in their 20s. And you would think, oh my God, you shouldn't be doing that. No, I should, and I can. So I'm going to. If you can, why not? But it's because I've always kind of lived that way and thought that way that I'm enabling myself to do that. I always live in the moment. I don't think about how old or young I am, because to me, that doesn't exist. I'm just me in the now. And if that keeps me looking like I did at 34, then so be it, because that's what I'm told. I look in the mirror, I see the same face I saw when I was 34 years old. I don't see any gray hairs or anything. And I'm like, okay, I guess that shit does work. So I'm going to keep doing it. I think like I think I'm 34 years old. I really do. And I behave that way in a good way, If I feel like going out and shooting some hoops, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to think, oh, I'm 54 years old, I shouldn't be doing that. No, I'm not going to think that way, because that's when things start to set in. That's when you start living like that. That's when your life takes on a whole new thing. Me, I'm young as hell. I can still do the same things the 34-year-old me did. So guess what? For all intents and purposes, I am still the 34-year-old me. Time is an illusion. Get it. Own it. Like, really take that in. I am living proof of that. People talk about the energy that I have. Yeah, I'm 34 years old. Really? Like, really? Am I lying to myself? No, I'm not. You can biologically change your cellular structure to match what it is that you're trying to do. Biologically, I am 30. I guarantee you, if you were to do some type of scientific test on me, they would tell you, well, yeah, biologically, your body, you have cells that would reflect that you're 34 years old. Guaranteed. I would take that challenge every day of the week and twice on Sunday, because it's a real thing. I may even be younger than that. So it is a real thing. Time is an illusion. Get that through your head. Ingest that. Eat it. Have it for breakfast. The only thing that matters, the only thing that is actually real, is the moment that you're in. Okay, so you want to become a doctor. When do you start that process? Now. Right? So let go of the past. If there's something that you want to accomplish, something that you want to achieve, every now that you put together, that you add up, creates what happens with the rest of your day. It's not 5 o'clock yet, but I want to do something at 5, or I want something to happen by 5 o'clock. Well, everything that I do now affects that happening. If I'm granted the gift of the future. If you want to go to the car wash and wash your car, okay, but you don't know how you want to do it at 5 o'clock, then you start to make plans now to make that happen. You get everything else done that you need to get done, so that space and time, which is an illusion, is created for you to be able to do that. So for all intents and purposes, the time that we do use is called clock time. This is something that he teaches in his book. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, to make things happen. I have to meet my lawyer at 6 o'clock, okay? Because my lawyer has other things that he's doing in his day. You know, he can't do it now. He can't do it after that. He's set that clock time aside, because that's the only way time exists, is on a clock. So you call it clock time. He sets clock time aside to meet with me. And then when we're meeting, it's going to be in the now, which will be then. So, but now creates everything that you do today. And then obviously the inevitable is next. Everything that you do today creates your tomorrows, your next weeks, your next years. The things that I do in this moment now creates today. I've already worked out for the day. I'm doing this live stream, which I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I would like to, first off, before I say anything else or make any other statements, I would like to thank everybody who has subscribed to this channel. We have 582 subscribers. And what do I want for my future? I want that to be 1,000. So every day in the now, I put in time on this channel. Whether it be doing a live stream about Big Ed and his dumb ass, or it's coming on the midday meltdown, trying to help somebody get through their day. with maybe something I can help them with. Maybe something I say can affect the rest of their day and affect the rest of their lives. But at some point, that was one subscriber, which was my lovely wife, Jen. Thank you, Jen. Jen was the very first subscriber I had. And everybody that has come since then, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because that means you saw value in in the content that I'm creating. So thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button, because I got nothing but good stuff for you. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please hit that like button. If you're not in the stream because you're at work or you're doing whatever that can't allow you to be here now, and you hit it on the replay game, please click subscribe and the like button for me, because it pushes this content out to people who need to hear it when you do that. And the cool thing is, it's free. Doesn't cost you a damn dime to do that. Just 2 seconds of your time. So thank you for the 582. I appreciate you, and let's keep it moving. So again, today, all your todays create your tomorrow. What I'm doing today is going to eventually get me to 1,000 subscribers, and then 2,000 and 3,000, on up to that million mark. Because we're not going to stop till we get there. 1 million subscribers. And I'm going to ask every one of those subscribers to cash at me $1. Hey, I said I'm going to be a millionaire, right? Hey, we get to 1 million subscribers and everybody manages to do that. There you go. All right. I would like to welcome my lovely wife, Jen. Hey, honey. How you doing?
Good. Let's hope I have some sound today until things, and then it makes my sound weird. I don't know what's happening with sounds lately, but can you hear me okay?
We can. So Jen is the other half of J&J. Jen is the other half of J&J Video. I'm Jay Dawn James, and she is Jen Judd. She's got both J's, but Judd and James, that's who we are. So J&J Video is what it is.
I just wanted to say that you tried to tell me about the power of now and how powerful, I guess you would say, it's been in the journey. And I didn't even really need it when we first listened to it. I didn't really get what it was saying, because at that moment, I feel like maybe I was a little bit. And then, like I've talked about on a couple of these streams, somewhere along the line in like my mid, it seemed like, I don't know, it was just hormones or getting older, but I started to kind of worry more the future, about family, about, just loved ones, about what was going to happen, and forgot somewhere along the line that it's just the now is all that matters, and being consistent in the now, like you were talking about, creates the future. Whether you're helping people with their goals, whether you're same thing every single day, that creates your future. So it's
absolutely
like where it's helped me at was with worrying, like making up a lot of stories. Oh, what if that happens? Or, I hope this doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't have to be okay. All I had to do was get back into myself and realize, what can I do right now? I can make myself feel comfortable in this moment. And if there's nothing that I need to stay in this moment, because worrying about moments are not
doesn't
helping
really
me
make a whole lot of sense, does it?
Peaceful and helpful now, because I need to live in this moment, and it's like I had to listen to that book, like you talk about, overnight. I had to, in the background while I was working, I had to listen to it, maybe while I was cooking. I had to listen to a movie and see something. I talked about that the other day, that you've never seen before, until you use these messages these streams, and these books come at the right time in your life. Just like that song sounds like it's about my life right now. It's like sometimes messages come to you, they're so needed, and sometimes you have to go back and revisit what you've already been told, get into it again and understand it, and keep reminding yourself of that,
Yeah.
in the now. I love the messages you're giving, because it's like, so younger people listening to this, even though it might not resonate yet, but it's like stuff later on, it will really help you when you get to this
Right.
point,
Absolutely. And it's helped me so much because I actually listened to the Power. And I remember listening to it while I was working out a year ago. And it took me 3 times listening to that book to actually really internalize it and understand just through everyday life, because that's how I like to learn what he really meant by a lot of the things that he was saying. And some of it can actually sound cruel because he mentions detaching yourself from time and detaching yourself from not necessarily loving someone, but detaching yourself from life itself in a way that you don't really experience a whole lot of the fear of death when you live in the now, because fear of death comes from projecting, how am I going to die, when am I going to die. Fear of death comes from anticipating the event itself instead of just basically going about your day and focusing on what it is that you're doing. And you find that when you do that, you cannot have 2 thoughts at one time. So if you can keep yourself busy, because the idle mind is the devil's playground, if you can find a way to keep yourself busy with something preferably that you love to do, and in the meantime, if you can't find something that you love to, just find something to do and focus your mind on. It's very hard to project and be full of anxiety, because that comes from anticipating the inevitable or the unknown. So if you live in the moment and just focus on what you're doing in that moment, you find that even sicknesses and illness. Have you ever had a headache or something and you start getting into a project, just ignoring the headache? You don't even take a pill, just getting into the project and notice that the headache disappears? Or
I
that,
mean, when you have to go to the bathroom too sometimes.
yeah,
Not to put too right
or you're hungry, you
hungry.
want to do some fasting, and you want to do some fasting, and you think, God, I want to eat something right now. I want to eat some. If you get rid of that thought and get into an activity like writing a song, or doing something, a project at work, before you know it, that time has passed and you got through it and you fasted and you didn't eat. And eventually your stomach adjusts to that and the hunger pains don't even come.
Right.
So you can really, by focusing on the moment, eliminate a lot of anxiety in your life.
True. And it's like we don't realize until you really start kind of overwhelms you. We don't realize how much we're actually worrying or be guilty about the past, or what
We
should
don't
I have
realize
done,
it.
or what
Right.
should I do. You start to really think about it, you realize, at least in my case, I realized that was being spent not in the now, and it was really scary. You know what I mean? To think after sometimes, because I'll watch you do that sometimes. I've actually watched you have some relations over the years, because we've known each other for such a long time. I've watched you evolve and who can now help other people, because you put yourself into that now, and learning more about how to keep yourself at peace and keep yourself calm. And so it's not like you don't work on it, because you have to constantly work on it, but now you're able to as well. And it's almost like you wake up, like just like wake up and get this revelation. And sometimes you have to keep reminding yourself. If you find yourself starting to do it, get back into the now, and get back into what you're happy about. And like taking action is the best thing. If you're sitting there worried about I've been wanting to start this YouTube, or I've been wanting to help this person, or I've been wanting to spend more time with. Start now. Do it. Make a plan and do it, because that's the only thing that's going to make you feel better. The past is gone. All you can do is change now for the future, and the future is, if you really think of what you did
Absolutely.
today, if you do an action today that's going to tomorrow, even if you have that thought about the day before, you've already done something about it. You've taken it off the plate. You've already started,
Dude,
So,
I want to learn Spanish. One of the things I want to do is there's 3 things that I want to do, okay? Because I'm a drummer, right? And my dad was a piano player, and he always, he would teach me little things, but I never pursued really learning the piano. I can play chopsticks and a few of simple things, but I never really sat down and learned the piano. And my dad unfortunately passed away, so I hadn't spoken to him in 17 years, and I saw him on his deathbed. He died of intravenous drug use, AIDS, and I lost him in 2004. And one of the things that, you can say, and I learned this from the history, that you don't get another chance. We get one life, one crack at this life. And if I had spent more nows with him, I possibly would be a very good piano player today. But instead of focusing on the past and something that can't happen because it's already gone, I'm focusing on the now. So what I started doing this past Monday, I started scheduling some time. I created a schedule so that I could structure my day, so that I could get things done in my day. So now I'm getting up at 6:45, and the first thing I'm doing is, well, I don't want to talk about that. That involves the bathroom. But and the second thing I'm doing is I'm working out. I'm making actually the second thing I'm doing is I'm making breakfast of champions. I'm making my breakfast of champions. I'm drinking my moringa. Okay. And then I'm working out, and I'm getting my workout done by 9:30. And then one thing that I always wanted to do, I didn't even know this when we hooked up. I didn't know how to do yoga, right? And I said, Jen, I would always say, well, I'm going to do yoga. I'm going to teach myself yoga. Well, about 10 years ago, I bought a DVD. And maybe 3 years after that, I decided to actually watch it. And I started doing the yoga poses with the lady, the down dog and the warrior, and and Virabhadrasana and all of that, namaste. And I'm like, I started getting the lingo a little bit, and I watched it, and I started doing it. Well, guess what? One day I realized something happened with the DVD player, and I couldn't watch it, and my OCD went off. But then I was like, wait a minute. You know this routine by heart. You've done it every day now for 6 months. Try to do it by yourself. And to this day, I don't use the DVD. I know yoga, because putting together so many nows, making that decision now, damn it, I'm going to learn it. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to learn it. And every now in those days became, now I know yoga. That created my future, but it was all a bunch of nows. And now from that past, I have this future, this now. My future was, you will do yoga because you're doing it in the now, and you're learning it, and you're teaching it, and you took steps. You didn't procrastinate any longer. And now I know yoga. It's a tool that I can take with me no matter where I go. I'll take a yoga mat, and if I feel like breaking out and doing some yoga and meditating, I can do that now, because why? I took steps in the now to teach myself that. So now I want to learn Spanish. I want to learn how to play guitar. And yes, I want to learn how to play the piano. So when I get off of this live stream, I'm spending an hour doing a Spanish lesson on YouTube. Then I'm going to pull up Marty or one of those other guys, and I'm going to play with I got 3 guitars over there. I don't even touch them. Okay. I'm going to put the guitar in my hand, and I've taught myself 2 lessons. I've learned some Spanish, you know, and I'm going to learn, and I'm doing piano as well right after that. You see what I'm saying? And then after that, it's time to sit there and create the stream for tomorrow. So structuring my day in 6 months, I'm going to be able to speak some Spanish. I'm going to be able to play a couple songs on the guitar, and I'm going to be able to play a couple songs on the piano, something I've been trying to do for years. In a year's time, who knows? I might be able to do a live concert on YouTube. I might be able to go to Mexico and speak fluent Spanish. It all depends on what I do now. I guess Jen's back at work.
I'm here.
It all depends.
I had
It's all good. It all depends on what I do now. Now I could get bored with it. I could get OCD and get bored and stop doing it. But how much is that going to help me for the future? If I really want to learn Spanish, and I've slotted a time for myself to have a lesson, if I get bored and don't do it, a year from now I'm going to say, "Damn it, I want to learn Spanish."
Well, that's what I was about to chime in with. I don't know if you can still hear me, but
yeah,
like at the past and said, you know, if I had just done this, gonna start, look at where I'd be now. You know what I mean? I mean, even I'm not the best. Let's just put it like that. If you had started, let's say 3 months ago, and you play each day, you could really look at it that way. It's like the same.
How about if I had started at 30? I'd be speaking fluent Spanish. I'd be a hell of a guitar player and a piano player. Okay. And I'm waiting till 54 to become vegan and learn all this stuff. You damn Skippy, because it doesn't matter when you start. Just start now. Time doesn't exist. Remember, I'm 34. So start now. You know, that's the whole point.
Exactly. That's the whole point of it. And then what you're saying, people could do that all the time. You know, all of a sudden you're down. Now you get so frustrated and discouraged about what you didn't. It makes you not do it
about
now.
what you didn't do. Right. It's never too late.
It's like
if you're here now, it's never too late.
If you start something now, all of a sudden, look at where you're going to, you know, it's like sometimes I'll do that. Like when I get like little, yesterday I was like, oh wow, I didn't even realize I had been doing this particular job at a year. It doesn't feel like a year. So every day I'm not like, that wasn't so I set out to go to work a year, but every day I got up, went to work, did the same thing, put everything into it, and all of a sudden it was a year. You do it anyway every day. Like, look how many you've made dinner in the past year. You know what I mean? And if you just start today, you know it, but you also can't get discouraged and start thinking about that, because then you're, you know, if I had started this a year ago, if I started
what's a phrase that you and I like to always use with that?
Everything's the same as it was yesterday?
No, elephant.
That's not the one. Oh, one bite. Yeah, but now we have to find a new thing.
I know, yeah. How do you eat the head of lettuce? How do you eat the head of lettuce? No, I tell you what. I'm always talking about drinking a gallon of. I don't sit there and drink a gallon of water in one sitting. I drink 8 of these throughout the course of the day. So right now I'm drinking 1 bottle. 8 of those nows is going to be a gallon at some point today. You see what I'm saying? You break it down, but it's all a bunch of nows. If you don't do shit now, nothing's going to happen. What?
This all actually can relate, and you know, because I have to throw in the line. Mm-hmm. I went to when I started becoming planted, and if like you're trying to get healthier, it's like, stop worrying about where you're going to be, or I want to lose 30 pounds, I want to get off these medications, I want to nothing, none of that's going to moment. Let's not even talk about each day. Each moment that you make a decision, eat and what to put in your body, that's what matters. You don't have to worry about being vegan, eating plant-based, or incorporating this in your diet. All of that doesn't matter if you, when you're about to get your next meal, say, you know what, I think I'll have an orange instead of I'm gonna have. You know what? Maybe I'll try Beyond Meat tonight when I go to the store. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go to the store and make that list and start with to do instead of saying I'm going to do it. Because now, look, when you wake up tomorrow, you've already eating healthy, so you've already started. I started.
You've already got a day
saying,
under your belt.
You know, I think I'll try this for dinner, and then I'll try it for a week. You know, now have added up. Next thing I knew, I lost 55 pounds. I had no more allergies. I have more energy. I'm able to help other people now. Goals.
Nice.
That want to get healthier. No high blood pressure. Anything that you have that with a series of nows. Just because, like what she was saying, if it's a goal, whether you have to do it each day, you have to live in that now. If it's something you want to improve your relationships, you want to get healthy, you have to do it right now. And it doesn't matter what you've done. Oh, you know, I should have started this a week ago, or don't put it off till everybody now this time in the new year, you know?
You know what I was saying earlier, Jen? I was saying that I was really proud of Ro, that she made the steps and started doing it now. And now she's got like 3 weeks under her belt and she feels fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm so proud of her for doing that, you know, because she has like issues where she can't physically do a bunch of working out. So she took the steps to control what she could control, which is what she's eating to drop weight and to get herself healthier. And that is fabulous, because now she probably does. Wow, holy shit, I've almost got a month under my belt of doing this. Wait till you see how you're going to feel in 6 months. But that's not neither here nor there, because we're not promised that. What matters is what you're doing right now. And all those nows, like I have on the screen, creates what happens today. You're going to have a today under your belt, whether you want to or not. What did you do in it? What did you do to improve yourself in that day? What did you do to make your life better or someone else's life better in that day? Because that day is going to become yesterday real freaking quick.
And you know what?
While it's now, make the best of it.
I always want to say his name. The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. One of the things you're having a day where you want to, like, if you want to relax and you're not doing, don't get yourself upset thinking about, I should be doing this, I should be doing this. Think about, you know what, man, maybe this is what I needed right now. Maybe I just need to chill out and I need to just enjoy the side. I need to take a walk.
Oh my God, check it out. Listen, the fact when you came in here and said the speaker was on mute the entire time, the beginning of the stream, it's like the second time I've done that. Did I sit there for 10 minutes and bitch and moan and get upset about it? No, I did not. I just kept it moving and started over and just kept making the same points that I started out with initially, because it's something that I feel, you know what I mean? And it's like, wow, you know, if you sit there and just bitch and moan, you never accomplish anything. You're going to move forward anyway. You might as well accomplish something. You know what I mean? If I sit there and I bitch and moan about the fact that I'm just now, like today, right? Normally, I try to do a Spanish lesson between 10:30 and 11:30, and then I stop so that I can prepare for the stream, right? Well, I missed that boat today because things happen, life happens, and you have to stick and move. If you're a boxer, you got to adjust your sails if you're a sailor. And when that wind comes, I could have gotten pissed, but in doing that, now I change my schedule. I'm like, you know what? Why am I pressuring myself to your point, just like what you just said? Why am I pressuring myself to do that at 10:30? Why don't I just go ahead and take that time to make sure I have all of my slides in for the stream and that restream is working, okay, so that I know ahead of time, and just relax and just do it at 1 o'clock when the stream is over. And I adjusted my sales. Now my daily schedule is, instead of me doing Spanish at 10:30, it's at 1 o'clock, and I'm like, you know what, that actually works better, and between 10:30 and 11:30, I can just, or 12, I can just work on the stream. Boom. You just adjust. You don't get upset. You don't get triggered. You don't allow anger to come in and make you sick. You relax.
Exactly.
You breathe, like what I said yesterday, and move forward. And okay, you know what? That worked out today. I'll just do it at 1. Hey, why don't I just do that every day? You make adjustments in the now.
It makes a lot of sense, because it wouldn't have done you any good to sit there and think about
the fact that I missed my Spanish lesson.
Or sometimes you might just need to allow a little time. It is what it is. And worrying about it just kind of really
it degrades the body.
The word I'm looking. Well, it not only that, but it takes away from what you're actually trying to do, which was live in the now. Because you wouldn't be living in the now by saying, "Oh, I'm worried I didn't do it on time."
It takes you out of your peace, doesn't it?
Yeah, like sometimes technology has a way of it wants to. You can do things to try to maintenance it and prevent it, but like you said, when streaming or there was not a thing that we could do, because we're not, in tech support for. They may not have been able to fix it, so you can't let yourself get out of your place, of peace because of something like that. You just have to think about what action you can do, what you need to in the now to make yourself back at your peace. So that's what.
Shout out to Dexterious Crockett. I see you, Dex. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. And it's so funny. I could have looked at that and said, okay, well, and gotten upset that, you were the only one that was in the stream, Jen. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, there's nobody that's listening to this stuff. Do you think that I'm going to stop doing that because no one else has come in the chat? Hell no. Because if no one else has helped, I'm helping you. I'm helping myself by talking about this. And when I saw Dex's name down there, my face lit up like a Christmas tree. Number one, because I haven't talked to him in a while. But number two is because, see, you didn't worry about it. You kept it moving. And now Veganowledge name is not the only one in the chat, is it? Dexterious Crockett is there. And yeah, high frequency is where it's at, baby.
This is YouTube. And I'll be honest with you, I don't listen to a whole. I listen to mostly things on that have already been. I listen to lives, but not always at the time. To a lot of YouTubes, not always at the time. So you never know who this might tell you, and I talk about it to somebody else and share it with them, or somebody just does a search one day for feeling depressed, or I feel I'm worried, or
and they come across it and listen to it on the replay game.
You never know. That's what I love about social media, both Facebook, TikTok thing. If you use it for the right things, and sometimes people might find something by mistake.
Look, how do you get, like, I made a video about LeAngelo Ball. How do you think I stay up on that stuff? Just because I'm not in Flight Sports Stream or making in Ball Factory, I go back and I listen to their replay game all the time. So it's like, just because I'm not there in that moment doesn't mean I'm not listening to the replay game in the moment that I find it convenient to do that. And thank God, they make those streams, because that keeps me up on stuff that I didn't know about the Ball family or whatever sport that I'm into or whatever I want to know. So, and they know that. They know that I'll show up randomly in the chat, but they know I'm going to at some point be there, either on the replay game or I'll show up in a chat. But that is something that always happens.
Even if you come across this video later on, to like it and comment on it if you have something you want to say, or if you don't, like, share, and comment can mean so much to a channel, even if you can't make the live back and listen to it later. It gives the view time, and the reason sometimes subscribers as an ego thing, I know, at least for you, and for me, because we want to be able to help more people, and YouTube has algorithms. At a certain point, once you have 1,000 subscribers, so many more things open up to you. It shows up in more search functions and things, and I feel like the messages that we project, everybody needs somewhere to be and to feel accepted, whether it's you're talking sports, talking about your emotions, whether you're talking about 90 Day Fiance, whether you're talking about becoming more healthy of something, which I want to do that comedy show where you just need to laugh. It's so important, and a good message to put it out there, you know what I mean? And feel free to come on our message out when we have more, fans and stuff. And you are, by every day, I noticed, like, I saw you at 1 subscriber, just keep your commitment and stick with it. And I'm right here to make sure that if you try to veer off from it or get any kind of frustration, I'm right here to be that, like you do for me. So sometimes we got to get each other on the ball.
Sometimes we gotta do that. We gotta be each other's motivation. And Dex, feel free to join if you have a minute, if you want to come up. If not, that's fine too. But I always, and that's something that I picked up from Flight. I will always put a link in the chat because I like people to be able to have a voice. And one of Flight's things is voice of the voiceless. I love that. Anytime somebody wants to come on my platform and give their opinion of what it is I'm talking about, I always make sure I put a link there. So, feel free. But yeah, absolutely.
I would love to hear it. I'm gonna, if someone else comes on, I may have to. I'm gonna go to the door. Groceries are here.
Hey, Dex.
Hey, Dex.
Hey, how you doing, J&J?
I'm good, sweetie. How have you been?
I've been fine. Just in the spirits of keeping my health up to par, because the nights are longer and the days are shorter, and I just want to make sure I do my part and stand here for as long as possible.
Are you dealing with any health issues?
Not like that. I mean, just old age. That's about it that I know of.
Does that really exist, Dex?
Don't look have old age. Come on.
I don't believe in old age.
You're a young man.
Yeah. I understand. Right. Time is immortal. Yeah, but at the same time, the flesh do have an expiration date, but the spirit doesn't.
Yes, it does. And the cool thing about it is, a lot of people don't realize, hey, listen, a lot of what you do in the now is going to leave that legacy, is going to leave your spirit behind so that you can, in essence, be immortal and live forever. And people will always think about you. And when they think about you, they're bringing your energy. And in that way,
that's right.
You live on.
Yes. Yes. And that's why it behooves me to participate in high frequency and good vibes, and to try to suppress or even just expel all negativity that I can recognize and be accounted for.
Yeah.
Out of my system, you know what I mean? So my
that
circumference can influence the better part of humanity and not the lower part of humanity.
Look how many lives you've touched and that you've never even met because of your willingness to do what you just said. Mine, I can attest, I didn't know who Dexterious Crockett was a couple years ago, but now you are someone that I consider a friend, even though I've never met you. But I have met you in spirit.
Yes.
what's intangible is far more powerful than what if we try to live just by what's tangible, we would have never spoken to each other, because we would have had to be what in each other's face right there. But we're using what has allowed us to be intangible and still get to know each other and still affect each other's lives, and that's another thing that's powerful about social media. It can help in that way.
Amen to that. You definitely preaching to the choir. First of all, from what you said, the basis of my YouTube or social media development on that aspect was through DJ, of course.
Mm-hmm.
DJ was gracious enough to allow me to be visible on his platform. And then he introduced me to Flight. And then when I went over to Flight Sports TV, I just felt at home. I felt like this is what I need to be. And when you talk about that frequency and that aspect of law of attraction,
mm-hmm.
I had never met Flight. And Flight is much younger than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Flight is under 30 years old and I'm over 50.
Mm-hmm.
So that connection, I mean, you know what I'm saying, it was genuine, and I felt it. And I was like, dang, I'm kind of attracted to this young man, Paul's, that the way he's moving and the way he's building his platform.
Absolutely.
And the stage that he's affording everybody, because he has an open panel. The stage he's affording everybody to speak their piece. And this is why Flight Sports inherited the moniker, the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah.
It's really because
because he's so open too. He's so open to let people come up. There's been times where I've heard you start Flight's stream and Flight wasn't even there. Flight
he wasn't even there.
Didn't even participate in the whole stream. He was at work. But because
that's major trust.
Because he laid that foundation and built that platform to what it is today, he does not even have to be there for it to be successful and for it to affect lives, because he does it through you, and you guys do it through the people that you talk to. It's amazing to have watched the growth of that.
Yeah, and he got it where it's like a well-oiled machine, because if, say for instance, Rave can start the stream, Marvin,
he has no ego.
Perspective from the other side can start the stream. He has quality people and quantity people that can start the stream without him biting his fingernails like, oh my God, is my channel at risk?
Right. Or having an ego about, no, this is my channel, let me speak.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. So, but like I said, J&J, you was a part of that building process as well, and you're definitely a brick in the wall when it comes to Flight having a fortress to protect his nest. So don't remove yourself from that process either, because you was very vital in helping Flight expand his profile, especially with the editing and the videography that you presented to Flight Sports TV and his premium content. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to you as well, that everybody that partaked in that, even in the early stages, Flight always give credit to. He doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's not one of those type of guys. What have you done for me lately?
Right.
and that is pretty unique in his spirit. Of course, we all have our flaws. Nobody's perfect, but that is unique in a young man's spirit to not be constantly dwelling in the now and not forget about the past, because his now is a reflection of his past.
Yes,
absolutely, for sure. And that's I was going to say that was like the coolest things that I think about. So many people try to block off and and it really doesn't allow you to feel part of, you're part of something, part of something's growth, and also doesn't want to be forgotten. So I think that's really, it's like you're one of your first people that have ever come on the stream to thank them, started the now of that. If you think about it, if that one person didn't show up, like on this stream meant the world to J&J. You know what I mean? So that is just a lot of quantity, and you just need to be thankful for what you have, because that builds.
That's right.
You know, and if their voice is heard, you're going to have more buy into that channel and to what is participate and want to come on and listen, because you're not, you know, being made to feel like you're what you, because what everybody says is important, you know,
Right.
whether it's on the comment, but to come up and be able to, great platform to have. I love that he did that. It was like one of the first people being able to come up and talk, and I love it.
Thank you. And Dex, I really appreciate you coming on here and voicing your opinion. And, you know, this midday meltdown is something that I'm really passionate about, because basically I'm just putting myself out there on a platter and sharing the experiences that I've had in life, good and bad, in hopes that it will help some people that have maybe gone through what I've gone through and are looking for somebody to say, hey, is it possible to work through this? You know, it looks like this now, but is it possible for me to get by this? And I want to be that person to stand up and say, yes, it is, because I've been there, you know?
Yeah, I'm one of the proponents of believing that struggle is ordained.
Yeah,
And
it's
and I'm
necessary.
also a proponent of after struggle comes ease. And
Yeah.
I say that to say this. We are all creatures of struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's trying to call me. We are all creatures of struggle, especially how it's innate in our actual beginning, from
Yeah.
coming from the situation of two people coming together under love, or whatever circumstances may be, love or lust, it doesn't matter. But having the power to produce life, right? And then once this life form has been inserted into the vicissitude of a woman's womb and slowly starts to develop into a complete human being, but incomplete, right? Complete, but incomplete. Because when the baby comes out after the 3 months gestation periods, or the 3 different gestation periods, it's complete. I mean, it got eyes, you know, long as it's not premature or anything, you know, it got everything that it needs physically, but it's incomplete because it doesn't have everything it needs spiritually. And that's where the adult humans come in, and a good environment comes in to influence this newborn baby to become a productive human being. So that's the struggle in itself, to identify what is good, to differentiate from what is bad, and continue to struggle in being the best version of itself. So that's why I say that struggle is ordained, and after struggle comes ease, because once you get over that initial hurdle, that you feel that, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. It's a lion in the street. It's an elephant in my way, and or a 800-pound gorilla. But once you get the proper information to either circumvent or go through that obstacle or that impediment, then you have the information. If you ever see that kind of situation or event again,
you have filed that away.
You can power through. You know what I'm saying?
File that away. You can use that to move forward.
That is a really, really great way that I feel like also one of the things that is so cool about coming on and talk, like you said, now that if you've gotten past it and you feel like you could handle that again, and like they're the only person going through stuff. I mean, as crazy as anything is, if whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing, or on, you know, line, now that we have that access, everyone basically, or as many people as, not everyone, but you know what I mean. Like, you will feel with the same things that you are, and people have overcome it. So if they can do it, so can you. So powerful.
Absolutely.
Me not feeling alone in something, or feeling like, okay, the power to overcome this, because this person seemed like they were really down with this, whether it be depression, whether it be a health, something that they've overcome, anything that they've over, just getting like you said, things that you've dealt with, and people that have the courage to put it out there, and the people with the wisdom like Dex, that you've things in your lifetime too that you speak from experience through. You've seen it, people that may be in that situation right now know that they can get past, help other people get past it. So not only with the struggle comes overcoming it, but just telling your story can help other people. That's why I love
exactly. And this is why it was important that our ancestors thought of the idea to write it down, to record it, so the generation comes after them will have
a reference point,
a foundation or a reference point. So when they encounter, because like I say, a lot of this is cyclical. You follow what I'm saying? And when we understand that we're living in a total solar system that evolves. So if it evolves and it's 360, then when it gets to 90, when it gets to 180, those things have happened before. And so by those things happened before, even though we didn't experience, because as Solomon said, there's nothing new under the sun, even though we didn't experience, it's written down if we choose to really gather that type of information and make it easier on ourselves. Right. And that's the problem that we have. We have a situation where some people hide the information, and we have a situation where some people offer the information, but a lot of times we don't take it because it could disrupt our comfort zone.
Right. And you know what? That's one thing that people have to learn to get comfortable with, being uncomfortable, because that's how you grow. When you're uncomfortable, that means you are in a growth period. You're learning something new, and you have to struggle through that. Like the whole thing with me surviving cancer and dealing with PTSD after that. If in fact it does hit me again, look at who I am now going into it. I'm a person who has fought and made it through PTSD behind cancer. So if cancer ever touches me again, which I don't think it will, because it needs a toxic environment to thrive, and I don't have that toxic environment anymore. I don't have any fear of it, which in itself is a lesson that kept it away, because I don't think, if it does, I have no fear of that, because I am equipped now with what I've learned in the past, that number one, how it can manifest in your body through thought first. And second, how fear can take over and make the fear of it kill you quicker than the disease itself. Because I have mastered not participating in that end of it anymore, it has not come back. It's like, okay, I can't fuck with her.
I like how you use the word fear. I like how you use the word fear, and you combined it with illness, because we know fear weakens. Yeah, fear weakens our immune system. Fear weakens our frequency. And if our frequency is weakened, then if we at this level and if we start fearing, then we drop down. So now we are putting ourselves in a situation where
vulnerable. You make yourself vulnerable.
Right. We become vulnerable in that level where our frequency is flowing at, even though we have passed it at first. So this is where the evil machination of those who try to alter our frequency to a lower level so they can constantly maintain us in all aspects of life. And so we have to, those of us who are aware of this, have to, like you say, we have to kick, crawl, and scratching to make something happen based on protecting our frequency. Because if we don't protect our frequency, then we're going to get low. And then a lot of diseases, a lot of stress, and all these other combined things that are of weaker nature can come and take over us. And we don't
Those of
want
us
that.
that are vibrating in a higher frequency have to learn how to transmit that frequency to those that are in a lower vibration and teach
Yes.
them how to raise their
To
vibration
raise
up,
their frequency. Yes. That's what
you
it's
know?
that's what it's about, because that's what's all out there in the solar system.
Oh yeah.
Frequencies and waves and things that you just can't see, but it's still in the physical laws of nature. You follow what I'm
Look,
saying?
I always talk about this. How does this cell phone work, Dex? How can I talk to
Remote
you
controls. Yep.
and control? You know, there's nothing here attaching it. So the frequency, the ether is real. And that is what we return to when we die, because that's what's inside of us.
Yes. Yes.
So when our body drops away, we just become a part of that ether once again. And when I get a thought of my mom, you know, and I tell Jen, and I've said this on the street, that is my mom's energy coming to me. It's not that she's a ghost or something.
And you see her as she is. You don't see her in no dilapidated form. She don't come to you in no dilapidated form. You don't even see her like when you put her in the coffin and the last time you see her, you don't even see her in that form.
No.
You see her in the best form.
Yeah, even though she no longer exists as a human being,
Yep.
I still feel her energy. Her energy is still real. If I think, you know what,
Close your eyes and imagine your mom, right?
I know my mom is. I can hear her voice.
Yep.
You know, I can hear her voice, and if that's real to me, then guess what? She is talking to me. Her energy is communicating with me at that point, and which means she's not dead. Only her body has dropped away.
Yep.
You know, so people don't internalize and realize that people go on. You know, not as people, but because you don't understand doesn't mean it's not real and doesn't exist.
That's right.
You know,
I agree.
That's why.
So that fear, J&J, like you mentioned, you brought it up. That fear is really crucial in our growth and development. And whether you're religious or not, you know what I'm saying? But we all are spiritual by nature. But some of us are a little more religious. In the Bible or whatever religious book you read, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, or any of the Hindus or Jainism or Zoroastrianism or Buddhism, any of the isms, there is a thing in there that says, don't fear nothing but God or the creator or the source of everything. Don't fear nothing but the source of everything. Because if you have that kind of fear, which is more of a reverence than oh my God, the boogeyman, you know what I'm saying? It's more of an awe-inspiring type fear, because that is not going to harm you. That is here to make you the best version of yourself, whatever form that you house. You know what I'm saying? That's the only type of fear you should have.
Because you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. 23rd Psalm speaks that, you know, and it's like, I don't fear. Why would I fear anything when the ultimate has my back?
Right. So they inserted the word fear, but more so it's like a reverence. You know what I mean? It's like an awe-inspiring thing. It's like a welcoming, not a push away from. Because when you normally hear the word fear, it automatically trigger a push away from. I don't know what's beyond that which I can accept. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not really fear, but it's a reverence. Like it's not even a word for it, because like you say, it's on a frequency. It's in tune, being in tune, aligned.
The easiest way to dissipate fear is acceptance of what is in that moment.
Yes.
And don't project what could happen and feel some kind of way about it. Be in the moment and take things as it comes. Jen and I talk about this all the time. It's like the whole death thing. You know, as you get older, do you fear it even more? Me personally, no, because I've accepted the fact that it's inevitable. And because if I'm going to be here anyway, I'm not going to spend my time eating shit when I could be eating apples and oranges and things that taste good. If I got to be here anyway, and it's inevitable anyway, why would I waste my time being in a fearful state and a low frequency? I need to be positive and be here anyway. So I'm going to enjoy these moments, because I don't know when it's going to happen. And I don't even care. I just know
Take care. That's right.
I don't care. I accept
Right.
it. It's done, gone.
Because
Okay.
you're in alignment with what is good.
Yeah.
So when you are in alignment with what is good, you don't care because there's no
Die when you
regret.
die. Die when you
There's no
die.
regret.
When you're actually in the moment of death, trust me, you'll know it. You'll know it. Why would you focus on it way before it happens? If that moment comes upon you, you will deal with it at that time. So why waste time dealing with it before that?
Control what you can control, right?
That's it. And I'm gonna end it on that. Dex,
Yes.
I really appreciate you coming in here today and
Yes.
sharing those
Peace.
gems.
Peace.
Sharing those
Peace.
gems. Thank you.
Thank
You know.
Good evening.
I feel like we went to church today.
I feel like this is my
Yeah,
midday
we did
prayer.
good. We did good.
Yeah,
So when anybody come back, like Jen said, come back and review this. We want you to like, we want you to subscribe, and we want you to hit that notification bell because it's important to hit that notification bell with J&J Video so you never miss an exuberant experience.
That's what his words. He is so articulate. Let me.
So okay, thank you very much for bringing me up. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
You
Feel free
see,
to
I'm
come
kind of working out a
anytime.
little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I got mine out of the way. Good deal. Good deal. I do this every
Health
day at
is
12
wealth.
o'clock. Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
Okay, thank
Every
you.
day at 12. Feel free to come back whenever you want. Every day at 12.
Okay, thank you. Remember,
All
health
right,
is
baby.
wealth.
Health
Okay,
is wealth,
bye-bye.
baby. That's it. Bye-bye. And Jen, with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, honey. All right, she's gone. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Any of you listening on this replay game, hopefully anything that we've said here today will help you in your journey and in your spirituality and help you to move forward in the now. You know, and you know, one of the things that I always like to say is don't procrastinate, don't put it off. Any advice that we're giving you, start now. Okay, because that's all you really have. I'll start that tomorrow. I'll start that next week. You're not promised that. Whatever it is that you want to do, change, be, have, start now working towards that. It's what you do now that's actually going to make that happen for your future. And on that note, I am going to leave you guys. On that note, I'm going to leave you guys and I'm going to wish you, as always, peace and blessings.